In the next two or three talks, I'm going to talk about the book of Cosmogony and Prophecy. For all our people who are interested in science, which most people are, this book, this section of OSP, of Cosmogony and Prophecy, is very important. Actually, the whole book is important because it is given to us from the libraries of heaven, and we are blessed to have all the knowledge, and in no other way we would have been able to access this knowledge because it is from a higher intelligence. Being an architect and a 73-year-old person, I am just trying to put together the knowledge in the book of OSP, and I don't have an axe to grind. I don't go out to give any talks to anybody, any organization, but all people who have been dealing with me do keep on coming up with some kind of question or another. And because I always claim and tell people all around me that I have no unanswered questions in life, and I also say that I have learned all this from heavenly revelation. And what is most interesting to me is that there is nothing in the book that you cannot understand. It is all very logical, and there are reasons why things have happened, and there is an explanation for everything. The only question now remains is that what about somebody who says that I don't believe in anything that you say? So then I have no argument, and I just take my leave from this person and say goodbye and wish him all the luck and go out. And I do wish that he or she gets the inspiration from a higher level to try to find out whether there is any gist or truth in whatever I am expounding over here. So the book of Cosmogony and Prophecy tell us all about the science and the scientific principles which, according to the Creator and all the higher powers, know how to keep the entire system of the entire creation, not only our planet and solar system, but all other solar systems and planets which are already constructed. Some are going to be eliminated, and they would become dust, and some new ones are being created. So OSP tells us the whole mechanism in which these phenomena are happening, who makes it to happen, and there's a lot of forecasting that they have to do at the higher levels also in what changes to bring about. The entire organization of all planets and suns and moons in the firmament is based on the system of vortexes, or what we call as whirlwinds on the earth. At higher levels, large extents of vortexes are made, and all the heavenly bodies are made to float in their own vortexes. They travel in their courses as determined by the higher intelligence. There is a fixed mathematics for the travel of all these planets and all the moons and the sun and all the other stars, because we know that even in ancient literature the position of the constellations have been all marked, and all of us know that there is a speed by which they move. The whole purpose of, not the purpose, but the whole way in which the organization of the planets and the suns and the moons is forward motion. So that is one of the things that we know, that nothing can remain static. Even nature does not leave anything static, and all our planets and the sun and the moon are made to move. And they are made to move not randomly, but there is a mathematics. There is a mathematics that Earth has to travel at a speed of about 750,000 miles per hour, and as well as rotate in a period of 24 hours on its own axis. So there is a particular mathematics, and none of the planets can behave in their own way. They will behave in a different way only if a planet is to be eliminated. Then the higher powers decide, and the vortex itself gets dissipated, and because of the dissipation of the vortex, the all that the earth is made of, it turns itself into the heavenly components of Agi, Gi and nebula. They convert into dust, and it spreads all throughout. Our entire solar system is a complex vortex system, with the main solar vortex, which is the cause and sustainer of the sun, as well as our whole solar system, with all its planets, and all planets having their own vortexes. All the planets have their own vortexes, and every vortex has a different mechanism and their own mathematics by which they are made to rotate and revolve. The main vortex of the sun rotates and revolves the sun together with all its planets and their own vortices. The system has smaller sub-vortices which rotate and or revolve all the other planets millions of miles away in their course of travel, in their own rotation and revolution, and their own satellites with their own sub-vortices. Hence, in the presence of the solar vortex, the sun has its own duty to perform, and that is in the grand scheme of things. Some vortexes are enclosed at the top and bottom, and some are globular, and some are open-ended. The Earth vortex is globular and closed, and it has a rotation speed of 1000 miles per hour and has a forward travel speed of 750,000 miles per hour. How complex the system of vortices is will become evident from the very fact that Venus and Uranus are the only two planets which rotate counterclockwise as seen from the North Pole. and all other planets rotate clockwise pattern. Venus rotates once every 243 Earth days, the slowest rotation of any planet. So this goes to prove that there is some divine mathematics which takes care of the whole fundamentals of our entire existence. Thank you. Next one in the next slide.